Hello everyone, it's Adam here. This is going to be a review of the VIOFO 129 Plus Duo, and I have to say that this was a promotional video from Blackboxmycar. Great timing. I actually was going to their website to buy a dash cam the same week they reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do this video, so it's almost like it was magical or something. I do have a coupon that I'll link down in the description below, also through Amazon as well if you want to use that instead. But thanks to them for sponsoring this video, and hope you enjoy. Just note that even though this was given to me, uh, obviously I have full editorial ability to say whatever I want to about it. So with that said, let's start the review. And yeah, thanks a lot, Blackboxmycar.
Now, as for the device itself, it's a very reliable dash cam. That's kind of been I've probably used 5 or 6 different dash cams in the last 10 years, and probably 10. And this one has been great. So the wiring hardware kit is flawless. It's built just for this dash cam. So it's all works together perfectly, no issues with the wiring. And so what happens is it will run in parking mode in a low power mode, and it knows when your battery is low and turns off. That's a pretty standard feature, but you do have to require that separate purchase of the hardware kit in order to get that functionality. Second is, it comes right alive when you start the car up, which is great. So, obviously there's no point where you'll need to intervene in the system at all. You won't need to ever really touch it or access it. You could pretty much just set it and forget it. The front and rear cameras record separate channels, so you have a front video and a rear video. So again, if someone rear ends you, you can delete the front video and just have the rear video perfectly, without any like editing or any crazy software work. Recording 2 different channels, and when it's running, the record button on the left hand side right over there is solid red. Works great, super smooth. It's not 4K, but it's good enough, especially with this price point of $200 or $220, I think it was. The built-in camera here, you can set it to turn off in like 30 seconds or 1 minute. I have it turning off immediately. I don't really need the camera on. All I want to know is when I leave my driveway, is that record button is sitting right there. Is it solid? If it's solid, then we're recording video, no big deal. I didn't even decide to go through any of these. I'll turn this on so you can get an idea of what it looks like. Any of these menu items. And the reason for that is because, as you can see, it's already recording. The reason for that is because all of the stuff is done on the app. So I'll show a preview here in a second of what the app looks like. But pretty much, you've got front and rear here. It's recording. It's been recording for a couple of seconds now. The app lets you synchronize the time, set all of the frame rate settings, gain, exposure, the kind of picture you want. All that stuff is done in the app. So you would hold down this button right here, the 2 window icons, for a few seconds. That gets you into Wi-Fi mode. And then you connect your phone, and then you have the app running, and it works great. Press on this, we can get out of there. Go back to the recording. Here is the most important button you'll ever touch anytime. That button is the save the last minute or 2 of video. And so if you are in a car accident, the G sensor in here will record that video and save it. But if you see something crazy, like there's a cow in the middle of the road, you can press this button and it will acknowledge the receipt with that exclamation point, and then it will record the last few minutes, the front and the rear, and it'll keep those saved. Microphone, I keep this turned off, but you have the microphone on and off, and then you have the record here. Then you can go into here and go through all of these different, let me turn this off. Yeah, there we go. All of these different settings over here. So let's turn this guy back on again. You can go to all the settings here if you'd like to. I don't think you should. I'd say install the app, connect it with Bluetooth and then Wi-Fi, and then so let's turn this. There we go. So in here, you've got all these different menu items. I just don't think it's worth your time to go through all of them here unless you don't own a smartphone. Because if you do, then don't waste your time. Just basically click through here and go into Wi-Fi and do it that way. But it's here if you want it. So if you want to set all these things, resolution, bit rate, recording, um, your license plate number, image rotation, all this stuff, you certainly can. I just don't really recommend it because it just kind of takes a while. Yeah, and then it goes back to recording again. Boom. Thoughts on the camera? Wow, good question. Let me put some video clips here and I'll kind of show you what they look like. And I'll go through those as the final thoughts.
This is actually the VIOFO Smart Cam, smart dash cam app for your smartphone. So you see the live view here. You can actually customize how you see it. So if you wanted to see, have it display like on your iPhone mount in your car sideways, for example, you can get a full picture. Settings are super easy. I would recommend pairing your smartphone and just using the settings in here to configure the dash cam. It's going to be way easier this way. You can also synchronize the time with your iPhone so you get more accurate timestamps. Um, I think you have to do this twice a year unless it accounts for that savings time. It's not really clear from the owner's manual. But motion detection, notification sounds I keep off, G-force for when to record and save a clip, as well as configuring all of the stuff like the Wi-Fi password, formatting your SD card, speed unit, also the resolution, which is super important. So do you want the resolution to be, um, as high as possible or a little bit lower? Obviously, higher resolution and higher frame rate will take up more storage. So I set it to the 1440p 60 and 1080p 30. So pretty easy to do. And then when you're done, you can save that stuff, and it saves in real time. And then you don't have to really connect your smartphone unless you want to do live view or download clips off of the camera. That's a big one. So if you do want to grab clips without pulling the SD card, you can do that from your iPhone, which is really, really convenient. So if something happens and you want to share it to, YouTube or something, it's much easier to use your smartphone than to plug the SD card into a laptop and go through that rigmarole. So this is a night clip, 10, 8 or 9 p.m. Speed shows here. You can disable the speed view if you want to. So you can say, don't show how fast I was going. Um, Nighttime, this is at the 21:9 um, uh, view. So super wide angle and 1440p at 60 FPS. I'm exporting this in 4K, so I'm upscaling it, but you get an idea of how this looks. You can read street signs. You can make out license plates pretty well. I'll also show you kind of what this looks like from the rear as well. My feeling is that if you can afford to get the 4K 60 FPS model, you're probably going to be a bit happier. It's not really about, like, it's very clear to read, especially if you pause. It's not about you're getting a better sensor, but also it's about license plates. That's the biggest reason you want a dash cam with a higher frame rate is license plates. Oh, that banding in front of the screen there, that's the rear window defroster lines that are just showing through there. So not much you can really do about that. On most cars, the lines go all the way up and down the rear of the hatch. But yeah, nighttime, this is the rear. Rear is 1080p, and it shows big difference. I want to show a stabilized clip here while sitting still at a gas station as well. So, occasionally a fender bender will happen while you're parked, and a hit and run will happen while you're parked. And not only will the camera, the reason why this clip is recorded is because I opened the car door and that woke it up to the G-force. So if you're parked and you get hit, then the G-force, and you can set sensitivity to low, medium, or high, will wake the camera up and get it to record. And so, this is a great way to make sure that when you're parked, you're still safe. It won't wake up for just motion. It has to be a G-force for the park recording. So, it's actually nice that way because you don't want the camera to just be recording all the time. Uh, Although if you add the VIOFO hardware kit that's wired in, I have a separate video on the installation of that. Um, that will not discharge your battery. It will stop recording if your battery gets to a certain level. So daytime recording, what most people probably are interested in. Looks great. Great colors. Everything's clear. Very little blur on the moving cars, and you'll see here kind of how quickly you can read a license plate if you go full screen on this video. You have to work a little bit to see the license plates. Right now, you can see it. So, I think with 60 FPS in the event of a crash where I rear end someone, license plate would be made out, towards the last, second of the collision. Same for the rear, same exact thing. So we'll do a rear clip here showing as well the license plate. Thoughts, super reliable. It starts up every time. No battery discharge in a week of use. Very easy to use, and I mean, as soon as you start the car up, it starts recording full time in about 5 seconds. It starts recording full time. It wants to detect that the car is running and the battery is charging up. Parking recording is working. I've tested it by, sneaking around the car and barely touching the car at the highest sensitivity, and it does wake up and start recording the incident. And so, as far as doing what's advertised, perfectly great for that. It's also super small and very discreet as far as how it installs and how it looks in the car. So, last clip here of a rear approaching car. So yeah, we drove this thing. We did about 800 miles with the dash cam. No restarts, no issues, no eating SD cards so far. Um, Super happy with it. So, thanks for watching and take care.